There's one, well, let's be honest, there's two fish that have brought me a lot of notoriety as well as a lot of controversy to my YouTube channel. The decision to create content for others to view is not an easy one. You see, every time you press down that red record button, you open yourself up to comments and critical opinions. Surrounding yourself with positive people many times is the only way to survive. Now today we celebrate 2 years to the day of when I brought this beautiful fish into my fish room. We're also going to discuss what I've done over those 2 years to keep this silver arowana happy, healthy, and thriving. Hi guys, if you're new to my channel, my name is Scott McLaughlin. I live in York, Pennsylvania, which is a small town just in the southern part of Pennsylvania. A lot of great, hard-working people live here, and quite a lot of people are in the hobby, believe it or not, in York, Pennsylvania. In fact, I actually made a club, fish club, based on the tremendous amount of people who are actually keep fish or in the fish hobby. I am known in these parts as someone that keeps a lot of big fish and has big tanks. So whenever someone is rehoming a larger fish, I'm normally the one contacted. I tell you all this because I want you guys to kind of understand why I'm the one that people reach out to or tag in Facebook posts when it concerns people trying to rehome larger fish. Just generally speaking, there's not a lot of people in this area that has 150, 125, 180, 220, all the way up to a 300-gallon tank in their house. So because of that, I'm somewhat of a popular person when it comes to rehoming fish that get just too big for the normal aquarium that you will find in an average household. It was early June 2018. I was tagged in a post, thanks to Tom Galuli, concerning a silver arowana that needed to be rehomed. The young lady lived in West Philly, and she had a blood parrot and a silver arowana about 12 to 14 inches long in a 125-gallon tank. And I believe the arowana was picking on the blood parrot, and she liked the blood parrot more so than she did the arowana. So she reached out to me and asked me, did I have any room available to pick up the silver arowana? It was absolutely of no cost to me. All she wanted me to do was provide the very best home I could. I talked to Liz, we thought it over, we looked at some tanks, we moved some things around, and we were able to open up at first a 150 and then later a 220-gallon tank for this beautiful silver arowana. Alright guys, we are headed to South Philadelphia. We're going to pick us up arowana. Can't wait. Let's jump in the car. Let's go. Nirvana. Come on, Queen. Now, I would love to tell you guys that I have this fancy B-roll of Liz and I coming to West Philly, bringing our big tote, going into the house, meeting Jakes and her family, and getting this arowana. It was about a 12 or 14 inch silver arowana into the tote that we brought and into our car. However, my purpose, my whole goal was to pay close attention to the silver arowana to make sure that we didn't harm him in the process of getting him out of his tank, into the tote, into the car, and then back to my home. So I took no footage because I want all attention and all detail to be on making sure we did this correctly. So unfortunately, outside of this one post here where Liz and I took a picture right before we went to West Philly, there's no actual coverage of us getting the fish out and getting them home. You just gotta trust me that it actually happened, and it went fairly well, all things considered. Alright, let's talk about the basics of a silver arowana. They are large fish that come out of South America. They large scales, long body, they can get up to 3 feet long. There have been a couple that have been kept in captivity that got up to 3 feet 9 inches, so they can get almost up to 4 feet long. So having the right size tank obviously is important to their livelihood. Now, they can be called the dragonfish because of their large scales, large body, silver look, and then the double split tongue, the bony tongue that they have. In the Asian culture, they are believed to bring longevity and luck into people's household. So they're, especially in the Asian culture, they are a very special and powerful fish to have. Arowanas can be very susceptible to poor water conditions, so it's important to do your water changes. Make sure you're checking your water, doing water tests on a regular basis to make sure everything is right where it needs to be to give these guys the best possible conditions you can. And the other thing, which many of you guys already know, and we talked about this before, they are incredible jumpers. So it's not uncommon to see a post to find out that a arowana owner lost a fish or came home and found their arowana dead on the floor. So it is imperative for you, if you're going to keep an arowana, to put some sort of weight on the lids to make sure that they don't jump out of the tank. I have tried the philosophy of keeping the water somewhat down or all the way up. And what I found is by keeping the water all the way up to the lids, they're not as susceptible to jumping. When the water is down more, I notice that they jump more. So I keep my water as far up to the top as I can, and that has really helped them stop from trying to jump. And also, 2 years of being here, they're kind of used to the routine of me bringing food and knowing that they're not going to have to jump for it, that it's going to come directly to them. So the main diet that I give my silver arowanas is a healthy portion of Tetra sticks along with Hikari pellets. And then once a month, maybe probably more than once a month, I give these guys some raw shrimp. And I cut the shrimp open and put some peas in there as well. Just want to get them their nutrients. Peas are known to help with their digestive system as well as their immune system. So I definitely want to give them the best products I can to keep them happy, healthy, and keep their immune system at its very best. So if you've never given your fish vegetation before, such as lettuce or green beans or peas, give it a try. Mix it in with your normal food, and you will see. I think you will see some good results, such as color, condition, and just overall better health when you give your fish some sort of vegetation. Okay, guys, let's really dive into some of the things that I know some of you guys are going to be really interested in, questioning, and etc. So this is a 7-foot gallon tank. It's really 265 or 67 gallons. I call it a 300. I round it up. But yes, for those people in particular that want to know exactly the size of it, 7 feet long, 267 gallons of water. They are run by 2 FX6 filters. I have canister filters that I have in the bottom of this, as well as a sponge filter. And then I have various air movement going in there, from air bubbles to several power heads I have at the top, just causing some agitation in the water. Now, future plans. You guys have recently heard us talk about, we have been in the talks with the National Aquarium in Baltimore, Maryland, about possibly a year or so down the road, donating these 2 beautiful arowanas into their tanks. They have a very tough screening process and quarantine process. So if we decided to donate them to their facility, it would probably be over a year before you would actually see them in the public aquariums being seen. That's one thought that we have considered. I've also been in contact with my buddy Chris Biggs, the Mad Aquarist, and we are planning on doing a 8-foot long plywood tank. Here's some of our conversation here. And he's assured me that 8-foot long and 4-foot wide is more than enough space for a pair of arowanas. So I'm super excited about that. Liz has given me the okay to actually put that tank together this summer in our garage. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to working with Chris. He's phenomenal and has a wealth of knowledge, especially when it comes to building plywood tanks. If you haven't subscribed to Chris Biggs, the Mad Aquarist, definitely go check him out. So currently, I'm super excited about the growth and progression of our silver arowanas. It makes me feel good that Jake's had reached out to me to find out, to get an update about how the silver arowana Simon was doing, and her reaction, her joy to see her fish doing so well and growing and in a new tank and doing extremely well means the world to me. It makes me feel better about what we have done, all the hard work I personally and Liz personally put into the care of these silver arowanas. And I think it's great for people who have got to a situation where they need to rehome their fish, have the ability to call me up and say, hey, how's he doing? And I can show them to them on video, or they can actually come to the house and see their fish that they'd like to. It's not a common thing. I don't ever want anyone to think that this is like a rescue center. That's not what this is. But for people in the local area who fish get too big, I will do what I can to make some room for these larger fish because I do have large tanks. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really would appreciate your comments down below. What do you think about the silver arowanas? What do you think about what I've done with them? Are you concerned about their current tank? Do you think I'm taking good care of them? I'd just love to hear what your thoughts are concerning it. I feel very strongly that I have done everything I can to provide these guys the very best conditions needed for them to stay healthy and thrive. And I think the proof is in the pudding. Look at them. I mean, they're absolutely magnificent beasts. And I think they're very happy in here. And I think come summertime, once all this pandemic is over, building them a new tank is going to be even better for them. I have always tried to plan ahead. What are we going to do to provide these silver arowanas the very best? So, I know people sometimes look at a video, a little 5 or 10 minute video, and make a huge assumption based on that 5 or 10 minute video. But I hope people understand that there's a lot of time, a lot of energy, hours of work put into making sure these fish, all my fish actually, are provided the very best home.